Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us again. This is Attorney Wilberforce Agyekum, and
Hello, this is Attorney Jumoke Oladapo, both from Ivylaw Law Office.
that's right. And today we're going to talk about petitioning under VAWA, which is the Violence Against Women's Act, to get your green card. We're just going to go over that and then pose a few questions back and forth and answer for you to understand a little bit more about the VAWA process. Okay. So for those of you that don't understand or know what VAWA is, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Under the Federal Violence Against Women's Act, you may be eligible to become a lawful permanent resident and get a green card if you are the victim of battery or extreme cruelty committed by a U.S. citizen spouse or former spouse, a U.S. citizen parent, a U.S. citizen son or daughter, a lawful permanent resident spouse or former spouse, or a legal permanent resident parent. You may self-petition under VAWA by filing a petition for amnesia, widow or widower, or special immigrant visa form I-360 without your abusive family members' knowledge or consent. A person who files a VAWA self-petition is generally known as a VAWA self-petitioner. If your self-petition is approved and you meet other eligible requirements, you may be eligible to apply to become a lawful permanent resident. So I'm going to ask a few questions, and Jumoke is going to answer some of it for us. Okay, and I will give a swing at a couple of them for you too. Um, so Jumoke,
Yes, please.
what if my Form I-360 petition for a Malaysian widower or special immigrant is denied? What happens then?
Um, so, first of all, you do your best to have an approval. That's what I'll say. But if you get a denial notice, usually there will be a option for you to file I'll call it appeal, and the appeal could be in form of a motion to reopen, a motion to reconsider, or just file with the BIA or AAO. You'll have the option of doing that. And you have 33 days to file the motion or the notice to appeal.
Mhm. So make sure you pay special attention to the instructions on your notice. And Jumoke, can a man file a petition for himself under the Violence Against Women's Act?
Yes, even though the law is called violence against women, yes, if you're a man, you can still file a petition. It's both for men and women.
Okay, so gender
If you're
doesn't matter.
if you're a victim of abuse or domestic violence and you're a man, you can file for VAWA.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, next, do I have to remain married to my abusive spouse until my Form I-360 is approved? The short answer is no. And the explanation that is effective as of October 2000, you may file a Form I-360 if you are still married to your abusive spouse, or in certain circumstances, if you are not still married to your abusive spouse. If you're not still married to your abusive spouse when you file the Form I-360, you must meet one of the following exceptions. You believe you were legally married to your abusive spouse, but the marriage is not legitimate solely because of the bigamy of your abusive spouse. Your abusive spouse died within 2 years of filing the petition. Your abusive spouse lost or renounced his citizenship or lawful resident status due to an incident or domestic violence. Your marriage to your abusive spouse was terminated within 2 years prior to filing of the petition, and there is a connection between the termination of the marriage and the battery or extreme cruelty. There's a lot more information on this part, and once we get through, we can direct you to where you can get more information about VAWA and these type of topics we're discussing. Now, Jumoke, can a divorced spouse seek relief by filing a Form I-360?
Yes, you can. You just have to be able to prove that there's a connection between the divorce and the abuse. And it has to be done within 2 years of the termination of marriage.
Okay.
And also, of course, you have to prove that your marriage is good faith. It was entered into good faith. Yeah, and probably, as you said too, that the divorce is probably interconnected with the abuse suffered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as long as they're connected, you should be able to go ahead and put in your petition. So, and next is, what if my abusive U.S. citizen or permanent resident spouse or parent or U.S. citizen son or daughter filed a Form I-130 petition for alien relative on my behalf, which is still pending or was withdrawn? Well, if you are the beneficiary of Form I-130 petition for alien relative, filed by the abusive spouse, parent, or child, you will be able to transfer the priority date of the Form I-130 to the Form I-360. This is extremely important for you, if since it may result in an earlier priority date and a shorter waiting time for getting a green card. So you want to make sure you do that and do that all that timely. Now, so timely is always important. And also, you need documents, but make sure you do everything on time. Jumoke, can anyone else assist a VAWA petitioner? How can they get assistance?
So a lot of people that are victims of domestic violence think they are stuck in their marriage or stuck in their family. And you find this happening in a lot of scenarios, particularly where you have a spouse that is threatening you about your immigration status, or the fact that they're going to report you to immigration, or that they're going to file for you, or they're going to withdraw your applications, among a whole lot of other things like physical abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, and things like that. If you are in such a situation, don't get stuck in that situation. There is help out there. And the VAWA is one of the help the government has given to people in such situations so that they are not stuck at the mercies of their sponsor or petitioner, and they're able to move forward to valid status in the United States. So you need to speak with an attorney who knows what they're doing, an immigration attorney. You can seek help with us at Ivylaw Law Office. Our number is 301 276 0887. You can seek help with other non-for-profit organizations that are around if you know that finances may be an issue for you. Places like Catholic Charity, are you there? And um, there's the House of Ruth and things like that. Although House of Ruth doesn't do immigration, but they help with domestic violence matters. Seek help with these organizations. They have resources to help people. Also, if you think that you want to call USCIS, call the USCIS customer service line. They may or may not be able to provide so much information for you. Then go online, you find this and that. But I believe speaking with an immigration law attorney that has experience in this field will help you to be able to get your status in place ultimately. So don't keep it to yourself. Seek help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, VAWA is a humanitarian petition, so you want to feel comfortable and reach out to help if you need it. And definitely, call our office. We'll discuss it with you and do our best to assist you as much as we can. And if we're not able to do it, we'll send you in the right direction with somebody that can assist if you don't have the finances or you're not able to get the finances. But seek help. There's a lot of help out there. So Jumoke, what types of documentation would a VAWA petitioner need or should have if they want to file under VAWA?
So I'll first say consult with the attorney because each person's case is different and your stories are different. But at the end of the day, the I360 petition, that's the petition that will be filed. And of course, you'll have to provide documentations establishing the bona fides and the good faith of your marriage, them into marriage certificate. Um, you'll have to provide evidence of the abuse. You'll have to provide your passport and probably psychological reports or therapist reports and things like that. Basically, you have to be able to prove that your marriage was bona fide and in good faith. You have to be able to share your story and put evidence behind it, and also provide proof of your spouse being a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident, or your parent being one, or abuser being one, and you know, basically prove a strong case for VAWA. It's more document intensive than regular um, spouse spousal petition. So you don't want to do this by yourself.
And you got that. So that is true. Make sure you're able to at least, write and explain your story and tell your story, because that will be a big part of your VAWA petition. So be sure you're able to do that. Anything else about VAWA? This was gonna be a
And
brief one.
keep records, police reports if there is a need for that. Just keep a track and record of what's going on in your life, and that will help when needed. Photos, police reports, medical reports, things like that are useful.
Yep. And anybody that may be able to, provide affidavits of support that knows what's going on. Those type of information is very helpful for your petition. So we wish you luck. And if you need to reach out to attorneys, we are able to help you anywhere throughout the United States. So please feel free to give us a call. What was the number again?
301-276-0887, and you can visit our website at ivylawoffice.com, www.ivylawoffice.com. We're also on Facebook, and we're on Twitter, and we're on LinkedIn, we're on
Instagram, and TikTok is coming.
Exactly. So everywhere. We are your attorneys. We know the law, and we want to help you. Reach out to us.
That's right. Thanks for joining us this week. See you next week. Next week we'll talk about the estate plan in Maryland, and Jumoke will be happy to answer some questions if you have them. If you have questions, you want to send it to us in advance, you can send it to Ivylaw office by email to attorney at
ivylawoffice.com or csd@ivylawoffice.com. And also would like you to like and share and subscribe to our YouTube channel and also all our other social media channel.
That's right. Follow us. We'd love to hear from you. Whenever you got us something to say or ask a question, talk to us. We are here for you and to assist you in any way we can. Okay? All right.
Bye. Thank you. See you next week.
See you next week at Ivylaw. Bye.